Okay, so good evening, everyone. You can all put your hands down now. We are starting the session for our day 2. And with us, we have a very, very special trainer. You met her yesterday as well. Kaushiki ma'am is from Miranda House. That's the top most college in the country today. Okay, she's pursuing history and philosophy. So she's a very deep thinker. She's been doing this for 5+ years now. But the most important and special thing about Kaushiki ma'am is that she loves to judge tournament. But she did not learn judging from day one. She has been debating. So we wanted to make sure that Kaushiki ma'am teaches you via her experience, okay? Because now she's a core adjudicator at United Asian Debating Championship, JMC. And by the way, she is a very special activist who's making sure that the women become more confident in the debating world. With that, I'm going to hand over the session to Kaushiki ma'am, and all of you will be on mute, right? All right,
Thank you, Anjali ma'am. Okay. Thank you, Anjali ma'am, for that fine introduction. Cool. I hope I'm audible to everyone across.
You are.
Great, that's wonderful. Couple of housekeeping rules. Since it's recording and it's really important for everybody to listen, I request everyone who has a doubt to raise your hands. I promise I did it yesterday. I'm going to take all your doubts. Secondarily, stay on mute. And if you have any questions, if you want to participate, you can write it in the chat box. And that's definitely, I'll try to accommodate everybody. And I want you to actively listen and actively speak and actively think about what I'm going to ask you to do in this entire session. Great. So welcome to the Mumbai Speech and Debate League. I'm really happy that you all tend to participate and show your enthusiasm here. It's like a great opportunity. I mean, trying to be better in terms of thinking, in terms of speaking, it just makes you a better individual and also like really makes you a better thinker and also makes you very confident. I mean, oftentimes people have difficulties in terms of communicating. For you to have that opportunity in such a young age gives you an edge over other people who do not have access to these opportunities. So I'm really glad that you participate, you take initiative, and I really love it. So great, welcome to the Mumbai Speech and Debate League, and also all the best for the upcoming tournaments that you will be participating with Hobby. That's wonderful. Great. Coming to the schedule, I want you guys to look at it and I want you guys to take a screenshot of it and be on time. I know you are enthusiastic and most of you are here 30 minutes or 40 minutes prior, and that's like a great thing. Follow it tomorrow as well, and you might shine, like literally. Am I really lagging?
You're fine, Kaushik.
Okay, that's wonderful. Great. At least you wrote it in the chat box. That's lovely. You should do it. Great. I hope I'll just share the screen for 5 more seconds. I want you guys to take a look of it or at least take a screenshot of it. And the slide will always be shared on the WhatsApp group. So don't worry about it. Great. And I want all of you to stay on muted because if I speak and if you speak, there's going to be a collision of voices. So you do not want that. It's irritating, but also annoying. And you do not want to listen to that. Amazing. Coming on to turncoat. Now, if I go ahead and look at this word, I want all of you to write it in the chat box and I will pick 1 or 2 person who will raise their hands. What do you mean by a turncoat? Has anybody of you ever participated in a turncoat? Did it in your classroom? Anybody who did it? I see a couple of hands. I want to recognize the Shika. Go ahead.
A turncoat is a balanced argument in which we speak for both of the sides.
You are actually right. And all of you also feel free to write it in the chat box. Great. Second person that I recognize is Arman. Go ahead.
Mom, in turncoat, we actually like turn the sides, like for and against. So we are turning the sides.
Yes, Arman is actually correct. In the most simplified version, if you turn your side, it's actually called a turncoat. So let's say I'm talking about why technology is best. If I turn the coat, it's going to be why technology is bad. So you simply go ahead and turn the situation or turn the topic and express your views. Like every other debate competition, turncoat has these 2 sides. I see a couple of responses in the chat box as well, and I would like to acknowledge that all of your responses are actually correct. So you know what turncoat is, right? I'm going to pick up 2 more people to tell me what are the sides in a turncoat, right? What are the 2 sides in a turncoat and how will you switch it? I see one person, Vian. Go ahead.
We speak from for and against.
Exactly, you are right. I see Advik. Go ahead.
Yes, ma'am. In turncoat, we have to speak for and against the motion. We have to like switch sides.
Exactly, you are right. I'm going to pick one last person. Abhigyan, go ahead.
Topic of turncoat, we have a topic which is all with another statement. We have to speak for about for it, which means like in favor of it and against it. So not in favor of it.
Exactly, you are right, Abhigyan. So I hope you are seeing that I'm randomly picking up people. So you have to be attentive and you have to raise your hands, right? It's all about patience and it's also about getting your chance to speak. I see somebody else is unmuted. Amazing. You do not have to be unmuted at any point of time, right? Whenever you get inside the meeting, just mute yourself, right? That's good. It's good for everybody else because they have an equal chance of listening to me as well as interacting with you as well. So they will listen to your answer. They will also listen to me respond. Amazing. Coming on to what turncoat is. So, okay, wow, somebody is annotating. Great. If you annotate, there's going to be a couple of repercussions. First, people will not see the slide. But yeah, okay. Couple of important things here. Turncoat is a debating format and it's a debating style which is extremely popular. And it has 2 sides, for and against. So I'm going to pick a topic. Education is an important tool to become an activist. Okay. And that's if I'm for, I'm going to support the side, which means I'm going to tell to you why education is an important tool to become an activist. Now I'm going to turn the quote. Turning the quote means I'm going to go against this fiction, which looks like education is not an important tool to become an activist. Can somebody tell me any points from side opposition? Why do you think education is not an important tool to become an activist? Are there any other methods which you can take in order to become an activist? I saw. Okay, I see some hands. Okay, I'll pick up Ivy in this time.
Ma'am, I raised the hand for the earlier question.
Okay, great. So if you've raised your hand for earlier question, do not worry. You could just lower your hand. I will recognize you later and you can raise your hand once I ask you a question once again. I also see a couple of responses in the chat box. So that's a good effort. So if I go ahead and tell you some points to become an activist without any education, you can say that I have my own personal, also lived experiences. There are multiple types of arguments. You have to always ensure that you look around, you observe. Great. Second important thing, what is the time limit? I mean, that's the most general question people ask. How much of a time do I have to speak? What's the motion? How will we debate, right? These are the most common questions that are being asked by students to us, right? Stay put and always remember the time limit for this is going to be 3 minutes. I'm just going to go ahead and explain what this exactly means. Great. Coming on to speech format. I want somebody to read it. Okay, I'll pick up one person. Vidisha, can you read the first point for me?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you read the first? Okay.
Yes, ma'am. In this format, the speaker speaks from both the sides of the motion equal amount of time.
Thank you, Vidisha. Now this is the thing that I'm going to do. Oh yeah, okay. This is the thing I'm going to do. I will ask one person to read a point for me. Then I'm going to ask another person to explain what this means. Great. Rishi, what do you think of the first point?
Please don't forget that. Okay. What calculates the percentage median? Right? You see 2,000, 2,500 in one
Please be on
sitting.
mute.
The appetite growth, you can have it. So,
Thank you.
Ma'am, amazing.
Carry on, Kaushiki.
Yes.
दूसरा टेबल ले आओ कशिका वो वाला साइड कर दो
Yes,
All of
I
you,
would request.
please one mute.
हाँ पिंक वाला नहीं वो वाला
Okay, great. I would request all of you to stay on mute because I can literally say your moms and your dads talking. So I do not want to listen to that yet. I want you to interact with me actively. Great. The first point means that the format of the speaker speaks from both the sides. This looks like I'm going to repeat it again because it's important to have revision as much as you can. So always remember, turncoat has two sides. It's called for and it's called against. For is you support the motion, against is you go ahead and negate the motion. Great. Second point, I'm going to pick up one person. Dwaj, can you read the second point for me?
Yes, ma'am. It is ideal to divide your time in such a way that you speak for equal time on both sides and then take a minute to summarize.
Great. Devat, can you explain what this means?
Dramatic adaptation, but I was asking that have you given the personalities yet?
We'll give it at 9
Oh,
o'clock. Ashiki, just go ahead and explain it. And let's
okay,
keep moving.
great. Oh yeah, sure. Great. So in turncoat, it's important for you to dedicate equal time to both the sides because you all have 3 minutes and you have to divide your time equally. You can, okay, yes, I really want all of you to please stay muted.
I'll look into
Amazing.
that, Ashiki. Just carry on with your flow.
Great. So it's always important for you to go ahead and dedicate your time equally, which looks like if you have 3 minutes, 1.5 minutes have to be dedicated for speaking for the motion. 1.5 minutes again will be dedicated to speak for opposition. So it's extremely important for you to dedicate equal time to both the sides. If you do not do so, let's imagine this scenario happens. You have two arguments from side proposition and you explained it for 2 minutes. So how much time are you left with? 1 minute. So you will now dedicate only 1 minute for side opposition. And that's a bad thing because you only explained one argument from side opposition and you explained two arguments from side proposition. So you have to be equal at all points of time. You do not have to go disproportionate, and it really goes ahead and engages with the judges. I'm going to tell you what this happens in the next few slides. I'm going to explain it with an example. Who do I pick? For example, I've already picked up Arman.
Let's just finish the training and we can take example tomorrow. Carry on. Yeah, just carry on with the next one. I just want to do a quick and understanding it clearly, especially with the turncoat. Just go next, Kaushiki.
Exactly. Yep. So the speech duration is going to be 3 minutes. Divide 1.5, 1.5. The example is money cannot buy happiness, and you're in the category that you can use 1 minute each to speak for and against. So you can speak 1.5 minutes for money, why money cannot buy happiness, and the next you can turn the quote and say why money can buy happiness, right? So you have to be equal. You have to make sure that you proportionately divide your speeches accordingly. Coming on to the most important slide.
Kaushiki, just 1 second. I just want to just stop sharing the slide. Just 1 second. I just want to iterate this once more. So for all of you, we want to hear your thought. And this is for you also, Kaushiki. Because we want to hear your thought, I want you to look at the topic. All the turncoat students, are you hearing in carefully? Right? Because we have nearly 96 people on the group. I want to make sure all the turncoat students understand it. You must introduce for the first 30 seconds. You must go for the topic for 1 minute. You must go against the topic for 1 minute, and you must conclude in the last 30 seconds. Okay? So you must understand that. I'll tell you the mistake that folks make. Okay? The students make sure, please be on mute. I'm not going to remove you from the group. Okay? So the mistakes that students make is that in a turncoat, if you give me only for, you will lose marks. If you give me only against the motion, you will lose marks. If you give me one argument for and 3 arguments against, you will lose marks. So what we are going to do is we are going to tell you how the judge measures you. It's like saying how the marking will happen. Just stop the leaderboard. Yeah. So you're getting my point. So all of you, when you are a turncoat student, you are using the first 30 seconds, Kaushiki, for introduction. It doesn't have to be introduction and I'm Anjali Tiwari and I go to this school. You don't have to do that. You're introducing the topic, what you feel about the topic, and then say, this is what I feel for, this is what I feel against. But make sure that they are equal in weight in terms of the time that you give him. Equal in the time that you give them, 1 minute, and equal in the number of arguments. And then you conclude. Okay. I just want to hear any doubts that the turncoat students have. Everybody, please put down your hands. Yeah, everybody put down your hands. I just want to pay attention to turncoat students to be fair to them. Vidisha, go ahead, please. Or Ashigar, go ahead. Okay. Does anybody have a doubt? Then you're raising your hands. So raise your hands only when you have a doubt. Advik, do you have a doubt on this?
Yes, ma'am.
Go ahead.
I was asking that it's 3 minutes. So how much time we need to speak for one for the motion?
Yeah. So what? Let's do one thing. Yes, let's do one thing. I'm going to ask this question once, and you can all put it on the chat. I'm going to repeat myself, and then I will ask. Okay. So we will use the chat box. We are 97 of us over here. So the structure of turncoat is in 4 parts. You are doing 30 seconds introduction, Advik, right? 30 seconds introduction is literally 30 words because we normally speak 1 word a second. Okay. So you do the introduction, then you do 1 minute of for the motion, 1 minute against the motion, and 30 seconds of conclusion. That's what you do. Okay. So let me ask the question on the chat group. How much time do we take for the motion? Let's go. I want to see the entries.
Ma'am.
1 second. I'm going to ask the question, then I'll come to you.
Ma'am.
1 second, please. Yes. So we will go for the motion for a minute. How much time? No, Shrishti. We will go 1 minute for the motion. We will start with 30 seconds introduction. We will go 1 minute for the introduction, 1 minute for against the motion. How much time will you take to conclude? Please tell me.
Ma'am, 1 minute.
No, 30 seconds. Most of you understood it.
Ma'am, 30 seconds.
Yes, 30 seconds. So we are putting it on the chat right now, G. That's what you named yourself. Okay. So I'm just going to put this once more on the chat group also. I know that you all have understood it. We will circulate it. Yes. Now go ahead, please.
Ma'am, I have one question. Please explain me in Hindi.
Motion topic होता है बेटा. आप किस पे बात करने वाले हो? Is called motion. It is called topic. I really like it. You must ask the doubt. चाहे हिंदी में हो, चाहे इंग्लिश में हो. जब हमें डाउट होता है तो हमें पूछना चाहिए. ठीक है? So is everybody clear? I put it on the chat also. 30 seconds introduction. 1 minute for the motion. 1 second, G. 1 minute for the motion. 1 second. Hold on. 1 minute for the motion, 1 minute against, and 30 seconds to conclude. Is every turncoat child clear about it? Yes?
Yes.
Does anybody have a doubt? Then only raise your hand because it's a large group. We don't want to spend too much time on it. Yes, Khyati, you got it. Yes, go ahead, please.
Ma'am, when will the turncoat topics be released?
They will all be released at 9 p.m. All your topics, for debate topics also, turncoat topics also, and characters or dramatic adaptation. We will finish the call at 8:30. We'll release it at 9. What's the next doubt that you have? Is there any other doubt on turncoat? Kian, go ahead.
Yes, ma'am. So
Ma'am,
first,
I don't have any other doubt.
you said in the introduction you don't need to say your name and school, so we can just start talking on the topic.
See, all of us know where you are coming from. So even if you want to do 1 line, it's fine. But normally what happens is 30 seconds is 30 words. You don't want to spend all the time in your introduction. You're losing marks.
Fair enough.
Matter. Yes, please go ahead.
Also, when we go in the example video which you have shared, the person is saying for, against. So do we have to clarify that, okay, this is when my for section starts, the against section starts? Do we need
this
to say?
This is the next bit I was going to come to. In the training, I was just going to come to that how should I turn the coat? What's a smart way of turning the coat? So I'm going to come to that. Yes, who's the next person, please? Vian, Rathi, go ahead.
Also, ma'am, we have one more question.
Also, in the conclusion, do we have to present a balanced view or can we favor a side?
Balanced view. right?
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Kaushika ma'am, I'm going to give this back to you. Vian, you were asking something?
Miss, how shall we do in this conclusion? How shall we conclude it?
Yes. So we are going to just come to that. I just wanted to make sure everybody is clear on the structure.
Ma'am,
Okay.
I have a doubt.
Yeah. Go ahead. I want to hear the doubts because we want to make sure you are clear about it. But I'm going to take only doubts from turncoat students. Okay.
Okay, ma'am. So do we have to tell the name in the introduction also?
One line. Don't do more than that. Just quickly.
Okay.
Hello, I'm Gyan. That's it. Okay. Okay. Yes.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Isha, 1 second. I want to prioritize the students who are in turncoat. Sanvi, go ahead.
Yes, ma'am. I had a question. Will there be a bell or any signal to say that 30 seconds is ending or?
Yeah. Within a speech, I will encourage you to keep a timer. Like, so for example, when I'm looking at you on the screen, my phone is on the side, so I can see my stopwatch is going 1 second, 2 seconds. So I have 8 minutes till 7:30. So keep your own timer. Try to time it yourself. But you will have an adjudicator who will show you, who will say, okay, you know what, now your time is going over. But within 3 minutes, I would suggest you keep the timer yourself.
Ma'am.
Yes,
Right?
ma'am. And another thing, will they ask the questions apart from our speech or is it
No,
just
no,
us?
no. In turncoat, you don't have any POI. So you are an individual speaker, right? You're not competing against a team or a person. You're just going one after another. Right? So nobody will ask you any questions about it. Yeah, Sanvi, go ahead. Allow me to call the students, please. Otherwise, we'll confuse everybody. Sanvi, go ahead. I saw Sanvi's hand up. I cannot see it anyhow. Anushka, B5B, go ahead.
Ma'am, I have a doubt.
Mhm.
Ma'am, we'll get 3 topics in turncoat. So do we have to speak all 3 of them in one speech?
Yes. This is very important to understand, and I'm happy to iterate it once again for all of you. What is going to happen on 25th of June in the morning is that all of you are coming at 9 o'clock and checking in. Okay, all the turncoat students, please, all of you understand this once, you're nearly 99 of you. We are all going to log in to the Zoom link that I will send you timely. And round 1 is from 9:30 to 10:30. Round 2 is from 11 to 12. Round 3 is from 12:30 to 1:30. So can you see all of you getting half an hour break, right? But you are speaking on all the 3 rounds. Okay, are you all clear? Yeah.
Ma'am, I'm having doubt. What is meaning of concluding?
Concluding is when you give a balanced view. कि मैंने for the motion बोला, against the motion बोला, what's a balanced view that you have now overall on the topic, right? So we are just coming to that. Quickly, I just want to go to the doubts. Diksha, what's your doubt?
Ma'am, I have a doubt.
Go ahead quickly.
Ma'am, actually, that I wanted to ask that dramatic adaptation and turncoat, the speaking limit will be means the speaking time will be same.
Yes, it's 3 minutes. Okay.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
Rajat, go ahead. Rajat, grade 5.
Excuse me, ma'am. What exactly do I have to tell in the to include and to conclude?
Okay, let's go to conclusion. Diksha, go ahead. What's your doubt? Yeah, Diksha. Dishika. Sorry, Dishika. Yeah, go ahead.
Ma'am, I'm having 2 doubts. Ma'am,
Yeah.
first, you're saying that there will be 3 rounds on 25th. So we have to prepare 3 different arguments.
Yes. I'm going to tell you the 3 different topics now. So what will happen? You will come at 9:30. You will do a 3-minute speech, go out of the room and rest for some time. Then the next round would start at 11. Then the next topic. What we have realized is if you speak only once, you might not give your best chance. So we want to make sure that you have 3 chances to speak. That's why 3 topics. Okay, we'll just tell you the topics in 2 seconds. Anvi, what are you?
Actually, I had a doubt about the introduction, ma'am. In the introduction, do I have to give my view on the topic in short or a brief about the topic?
Just a brief about it because 30 seconds is 30 words only, right?
Okay, yes, ma'am.
Just opening remark and then for the motion and then against the motion your view. Yeah.
Yes,
I have a question. I'm having another doubt.
1 second, Dishika. Let me give others a chance. Amira, go ahead.
Ma'am, I have 2 doubts. First of all, first you said, by what I understood, first you said that we have to include all of the topics in one speech. But
No, you will
then
do one topic, one speech for 3 minutes. Okay.
you have to, so there's one topic per
Miss,
day.
I have a question.
Not per, once again, all of you be silent. This is important for you all to understand. 1 second, my system is hanging. Okay. Amira, let me be Amira Juneja, grade 5. I have applied for turn code. This is what is going to happen. Listen to me very carefully. All of you put yourself on mute. Amira comes at, can you all be on mute? I can mute you all. I don't like to do it. So please be self-disciplined. Okay. Yes. Thank you so much. So Amira, I come in at 9 o'clock. Anjali ma'am will tell you which room to go into. Okay. So Amira, you are given room 3 breakout room. You will go to room 3 breakout room and you will be given 3 topics. On round 1, you will speak on that topic at between 9:30 to 10:30. All of you be on mute. Yeah. Then at 11 o'clock, you're doing round 2. At 12:30, you're doing round 3. 3 different topics are coming to you, Amira. I'm just going to come to the topics. Give me a second to finish the conclusion. Now, one of the most important things you have to understand when you're doing these are the tips and tricks before we go into conclusion, before we go into the rubrics. You have to prepare your speech prior. Do make sure that you have practiced and timed it well. Okay. You must include and make sure that if you're going to give me 4 points on for, then give me 4 points on against. If you're going to give me 2 points on for, then give me 2 points on against. Balance it. You must rebut your own points. Rebuttal means you gave some reason to say, let's say the topic was, should zoos be banned? You gave me a reason to say, zoos should be banned because you cannot put a penguin in Delhi. It is too hot for them. Or you can now, when I'm rebutting, when I'm going against the motion, you will say, zoos should not be banned because the point is, irrespective of whatever the temperature is, the point is a Delhi student will never be able to see a penguin because he cannot afford to go to Antarctica. Rebut your own points. If you made some points for, then make those same points against also. Add an interesting twist to the juncture. So for example, I'm talking about should zoos be banned. I've given you a concept to say, my understanding of a zoo is that I mean to see the zoo is for the land animals, which is a classic zoo of, say, a national park over here. I am not including all the aquariums that have got all the marine life. So I've qualified what zoo I meant. And I think it should be banned because the animals in the zoos are not well looked after. The fact is that we all can see a lot of virtual videos, so we don't require the concept of zoo. The animals should be allowed to live in their own natural habitat. I gave you 3 reasons why it should be banned, right? Similarly, I should give you 3 reasons why they shouldn't be banned. But how should I twist? How should I turn? I can say it in a very boring way to say, okay, now I'm going to speak against the topic. Super boring. You could say, oh my God, what was I thinking about? I don't know what I was thinking about. The fact is that I miss seeing a penguin. So can I please give you my reasons of why zoos should not be banned? I cannot afford to go to Antarctica. I can't go and meet a cobra in the jungle. So I have to go to the zoo to see it. And you know, the fact is that there are so many animals now in the extinct species. If I go looking for them, then it might lead the poachers to go and hunt for them. So I gave you 3. But when I twisted, when I turned the juncture, I gave an interesting point. So I now need all of you to use the chat box and give me an interesting twist. Can you tell me how we can twist our points? How can we go from for to against? Give me an interesting twist when we change our point of view. Give me a line that we can use, a dialogue we can use. Try it. So if I'm speaking for the motion and if I want to twist my thought, what could I have said? Does somebody want to take a try?
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yeah, Vyan.
Ma'am.
Go ahead. Think of a line that you can use when you go for and when you go against.
Excuse.
Yeah, Ganpati.
Ma'am, actually, I'm not able to use the chat. Can I say it orally?
Yeah, go ahead. So go ahead. Don't give a direct
Yes,
message. We just put it on the chat. Oh, you all, oh, there's some interesting one coming. Shaina is saying, oh, what was I thinking? Vaj is saying, oh, I forgot. I forgot my topic. Anyways, let me give you the other side. Can I give my alter ego another side? You know, so you can do something. So give me some interesting twist in what I'm saying, but go ahead. If somebody wanted to say it verbally, just one more I can take right now.
Ma'am, can I say verbally?
Yes, Shivan, go ahead.
Oh dear judges, what was I even thinking?
Okay, so good. So have some. So some of the things that you can see in yellow are panel. I forgot I even said that. I do not quite know what possessed me in the last.
Can I say?
Ma'am, can I say like one?
No, keep it together now. I can't hear more, otherwise we will not finish the training. So please make sure we want to finish the last one. Use the last 30 seconds to conclude. The conclusion includes finding a balance. This is balance in the sense, what's your overall view? Now, this is what the judges have been told in the morning. So when we, Rivan, don't do that. When we were training them in the morning, the judges have been told. It's okay, Rivan. So the judges have been told that you will all be marked on 3 M's. They are called matter, manner, and method. Okay, matter means they are going to give you 10 points on what was that person saying? Was it even relevant to the topic and the side? So when I'm saying, should zoos be banned? Were your argument correct, or were you just giving some random argument? What was the quality of the argument? Did you explain it? Did you put the examples on it? That's very simple as matter. Manner is your presentation. Eye contact, not reading off the doc completely. I understand. We all encourage you to have palm card. We all encourage you to have some notes. We all encourage you to have a script. But completely looking at it and randomly reading it out becomes very boring. So try to practice in front of the mirror, okay? So that you're comfortable with it. Please, dear students, use words that you understand. We all know your age, right? We all know your age is around 8 years old to a 10, 11-year-old. Don't use words that you don't understand. It breaks your flow. When you will start saying that, you will feel uncomfortable. Don't do that. Correct? And the other is method. That are you covering both sides of the motion well? Are you rebutting your own points? Like I gave you the example, you rebut your own points in this, and do you have the same number of arguments? Now I've introduced it many times. I'm going to quickly show you. Before we go ahead, just 1 second. Hanging. I want to show you your topics. On mute. Who is this? Mama is having fun. So Rishika, please. All of you be on mute, please. Thank you, ma'ams and sirs. Okay, round 1, motion 1. Online education is more inclusive for developing countries. Turncoat students, this is your time to ask any doubt on the topic. The topics are very simple. Online education is more inclusive in developing country. Is India a developing country? Quickly on the chat, tell me.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Okay. Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
When you think about this topic, then think about all developing countries. Okay. So when you think about online education, think beyond, think globally also. All right. Give me, so the next one.
Excuse me, ma'am.
No, excuse me. When I'm talking, nobody, just 1 second. I'll finish and then ask you to open your mutes. Round 2 topic. What time are we doing round 2? Give me on the chat quickly. What time are we going to do round 2? What time is round 2 starting?
11.
Yes, that's bang on. We are going to start at 11. Now you're all set. You are getting ready and you're getting there. I love it. Holistic development is school's primary responsibility. Can you use the chat box and tell me what does holistic mean? Do you know? Should I help you explain? Yeah. Holistic could be wholesome. It could be overall. Kaushiki ma'am, do you want to take a chance in saying what is holistic? Do you also want to define it?
Oh yeah, holistic development is when you focus on academic, when you focus on sports, when you play chess, when you do everything, like a scholarly person who does stellar performance in everything is a part of holistic development. So I think most of you guys are holistic because you do everything. You debate, you interact with people, you have better communication skills, you write better, you speak better. So that is what you call a holistic development. And do you think it's a school's responsibility or not? That's the topic.
So that's the topic, that holistic is all round. Abhigyan, that's a good word as well. So all round development, which might not be only restricted to academic. It might be cooking for all I know. It might be a life skill for all I know. Right? So this is where you have the chance to define it when you're talking about it, when you're introducing it. What do you mean by holistic development? What do you mean for? What do you mean against? Make sure that your arguments are equal. You don't want to lose marks on that, please. Okay, and then conclude it. Excellent, Ahan. Thank you so much for that perfect blend of academics and vocational education. But make sure that you understand the word vocational, okay? Okay, third round motion. We are playing third round at 12:30. Students must vote for the teachers they wish to be taught by. Who likes this motion? Tell me on the chat. No, they shouldn't? Yeah, not me. We have mixed views over here. So when I gave the educators the topic, they were smiling. So this is a lovely topic, right? Third round is fun. Students must vote for the teachers they wish to be taught by. Think about it. So some of you say, yes, we should vote for the teachers. Some of saying you are happy with it. We want to hear your views on 25th. Okay. With that, can I please make sure all the turncoat students are absolutely comfortable, because then we will start on debate and I can see hundreds on the call.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, the previous slide was because I'm not able to take short.
Okay, I'm going to share the recording and I'm going to share this slide.
I just want to ask
All of you quiet. We are going to use the chat box and I'm going to answer all your questions. Don't worry about it. But I will call upon who will speak, because wow, we have 122 of you on the call where we were expecting. I want to be silent. Okay. Please, all the parents, be nice to us. Okay. So with that, can I please ask all the turncoat students to please put their doubts on the chat in the next 30 seconds. Just put your doubts on the chat. I just want to see what don't you understand. Yeah, Sanvi, I'm coming to that. I'm going to come back and say the first topic is online education and is more inclusive for developing countries, which means, so let's take an example. I am a student who is sitting in some village and it is a developing country, which means that I don't have access to everything. So just because I don't have a school in my city, right? So if I don't have a school in my city, I'm left behind. But if Anjali ma'am was sitting over here, or you were running a school which was online, then she could have logged in from her cell phone, which is what happened during COVID, right? During COVID, people could log in from everywhere. So that made it inclusive, right? Which means that you are not left behind. You have access to education, even when you don't have access to a brick and mortar school. Does that help? Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you so much. Okay. No, can you please post, all of you post your questions? It's much easier than that, I'm realizing. Okay.
Ma'am, please explain me in Hindi again.
Ashi, I'll come and explain it to you in Hindi. But let me just finish quickly. Just ping me once. Okay. So Dishika, all of you be on mute for a second, please. Put it on your chat. I'm just going through the chat. All of them I will answer. Dishika, if you exceed the time limit by mistake, it's okay, except the fact that the judge is not able to hear you. After 3 minutes, they put their pens down. They allow you to finish the sentence that you were saying. So because your speech time limits are 3 minutes, they will not listen to you after 3 minutes. They are just going to put their pens down, let you finish the sentence. Last sentence can take 15 seconds. So 3 minutes, 15 seconds, you shouldn't exceed that at all, right? Now, the other question I get asked is there a minimum time? There isn't any minimum time. So sometimes students suddenly finish in 1 minute, but I would encourage you, finish 3 minutes. You have the opportunity to finish 3 minutes, try to do that. Okay. Yes, Amira, the topics that I just showed you are the topics for the competition, right? On the day of the competition, you are going to pretty much rename yourself like this, Arman, which is why we teach you that earlier. I'll come to the ticket to Bombay once you come to the qualifiers and become a semi-finalist. Shaina, the balanced view is what do you thinking about for and against? What is your view about it? You know, how should we think about balancing it? You didn't understand what we should include for introduction and conclusion. So, okay, I'm going to put this on the group. What do you think we can include in the introduction? All of you, can you put it on the chat?
Excuse me, ma'am, I'm not able to use the chat, so can I speak?
Yes, please do that.
Oh,
Don't
ma'am,
read.
the slide.
Miss,
Go ahead,
when
go
will
ahead.
turn would start? Sorry, I meant WS.
Yeah. Okay. So, Anishka, I couldn't hear you. So I'm going to make sure that we keep moving ahead. On the topic, just make sure that you're researching. You are asking an adult to help you with them. If you still have a doubt, you can put it on the WhatsApp group. So, but I'm just going to repeat it because I think Amira is asking once. 1 second. Vivan is also saying, I did not understand the SEPAIN topic. Okay, now what happens in sometimes the schools take the responsibility of only academic marks. Okay, so the topic itself is on the second round is that maybe holistic development should be the school's responsibility, which is over and above marks that you score in the academic subjects. You all learn different subjects in school, math, science, English, yeah? All of you are learning different subjects, right?
Yes, ma'am.
What we are saying in round 2 motion that the school should not be responsible only for the subjects. They should also be responsible on teaching you life skills, teaching you sports, teaching you values, teaching you how to behave, right? These are also important skills that we have to learn as a human being, right?
Yes,
So that second topic is, right? Okay, with that, all the TC students are going to put their doubts on the chat because it's easier for me to sort of see what are the top doubts that are coming in. Introduction can be about, like I said, holistic. You can define holistic. Maybe in the introduction, you say, what I mean by holistic is so and so. Hi, I'm Anjali Tiwari. I'm coming in from Bombay, but here is what my view on the topic is. Let me tell you 2 arguments for the motion, 2 arguments against the motion, and conclude, right? Okay. So with that, TC student, are you asking me any more questions? No, we are good. So Rajat, quickly, I wish you would put your doubts on the chat, Rajat. No? You want to ask? Go ahead. Then I'm coming to WSDC students. Please be ready.
Miss, for conclusion, what do we have to include in it?
So for conclusion, just give a balanced view about the topic that overall, what do you think? Now that you have said for, now that you have said against, what do you think overall should be done? Right? So let's say on the same topic that I was saying about zoos, you could sort of say that the animals that are very sensitive to varying temperatures should not be in the zoos. It allows them to be safe in their environment and at the same time allows you to see some of the animals that you wouldn't have seen. So a giraffe might not mind being in Delhi, but a penguin definitely, right? We are going to spend so much of money trying to keep it in an air-conditioned environment. So I'm just balancing my view to say overall, I think we can reach a middle path. Neither here, neither there, but I can reach a middle path with my argument. Yeah, Tisha?
I wanted to say, but ma'am, my chat is not working. I don't know why. So can I just ask my question orally?
Go ahead. I'm already.
Ma'am, the timings of each round, are you going to send it on the WhatsApp group?
I am going to send the same pages that I'm showing today on the group. It'll all be there. Okay? Yeah, Vian?
And ma'am, when is the qualifying round? What is the date of the qualifying round?
25th June, Sunday. This Sunday we are playing. Okay? Amira, go ahead.
We have to speak 1 point for and 1 point against.
Yes, that's for turn code. Absolutely, you're right. Amira, go ahead.
So we got 2 days to prepare, right? 2 days
Yes, you have good 2 days. Research hard, right? Yes, Vian, Amit, go ahead.
Miss, is the qualification round the semi-finals?
Yes, okay, that's a good question, Vihan. And then after this, all the turncoat students will put their this thing because we are 1 minute into the WSDC time. Kaushiki ma'am, kindly be ready to share. Okay, so Vihan has a good question. We are going to do qualifiers on 25th. We did qualifiers on 17th, out of which we have selected some winners. We are going to do qualifiers on 25th, which means all of you will play 3 rounds. If you are a debate students, you are playing 3 rounds. If you are a turncoat student, you're playing 3 rounds. If you're dramatic adaptation, you're playing 3 rounds. Then we will sit and calculate the score and release the results by Tuesday. And the students who get finalized as semi-finalists will come and play at IIT Bombay on 1st of July. Right?
And can you please hear us? So when will be the finals?
1st July.
Ma'am, when is our debate starting? Ma'am.
Yes, we are starting the session for debate. All turncoat students can please now leave. I shall just give you 30
Ma'am,
seconds.
can I share my doubt? Thank you, ma'am. Bye.
You have to put it on the chat.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you,
ma'am. Have a nice day, ma'am.
Leave quietly.
Ma'am, can I please share my doubts?
No. Please put it on the chat. I have to have a hard stop. You know, it's
Ma'am, I put it on the I put it.
May I leave?
Yes.
May I leave?
Leave quietly. We have to start debate. Are all the debating students over here? Rivan, just put
Yes,
the.
miss. Yes, miss. Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
Let's
Yes,
start.
ma'am.
I just
Yes, ma'am.
all of you put down your hands.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you so much, everyone. All the debate students, everybody, please put their hands down. First, everybody hands down. I just want to know who has debated before. So I just want a thumbs up on the debate students. How many of you have debated before? It gives us an idea of how to pace the session, right?
Is school debating a thing?
Yeah, that's okay. That's perfectly fine. School debating is debating.
Ma'am.
Ma'am, I have done debating in the school.
I just want you to put your hands up, no, not talk. Let's just control the decorum and then we'll come to you. Okay, all the turncoat students, thank you so much. You can leave the group. I was expecting 24 of you to come and we have 122. Wow.
Me, miss.
Yes, Anishka, you still, yes, tell me.
Miss, I'm from Turncoat and the slide you showed for the topic, is it for 25th June?
Yes. Yes, Anishka, I'm going to release this deck in some time. Don't ping on the group. You now have it. I'm just going to release it on the group in some time once I finish the debate training. Okay.
And miss, please write the timings of each of the rounds.
Yes.
Yes, miss.
All right. All turncoat. Bye-bye. Leave your doubts on the chat. I will look into it and I will respond on the group. Rivan, that includes you as well. So debate training, should we begin? Okay. So we have approximately how many hands up? We have quite a few hands up. 21 of you are up. No talking.
Ma'am, those who are dramatic adaptation, they also have to leave.
Yes, Ara, that's correct. Okay. Now, everybody be silent. Please do not unmute yourself. What we are going. So you can all put your hands down. I can make out that 27 of you out of 76 that I'm expecting have.
Excuse me, ma'am.
No.
Bye, ma'am. Excuse me, ma'am. Ma'am.
Everybody on mute now.
Excuse me, ma'am. Excuse me, ma'am.
There. I just muted you all, which I don't like to do. It makes me very sad to mute you all. I don't like to mute you all. Please allow me to control the training. Yeah. Okay. With that, Kaushiki ma'am, are you able to unmute yourself?
Yes, I can.
Lovely. Can you please take over? Let's start debate training. All of you be silent. We will let you know when you can ask the question. You can all put down your hands.
Ma'am, can the students leave?
Everybody who's not doing debating can leave now. Okay? All right, let's start, Kaushiki ma'am. We are at 7:50.
Yes, amazing. Great. Welcome everybody to the WSDC debate format. And for any questions, just raise your hand. If I ask you any doubts or ask you, just like speak then, okay? Because I want to have a very clear flow of this so that everybody has access to this in the very first place. What is WSDC? WSDC has a full form and it's called, everybody who knows the full form can write it in the chat box, right? WSDC means World Schools Debating Championship. And it has a format. And everybody here knows that there are always two sides of debating, which is why you debate, right? You have proposition and you have opposition. Proposition is for the motion. What is the motion? Motion is the topic, right? So a topic can be anything. Zoos should be banned. Animal testing should be banned. Anything can be a topic. But for the professionalism and by adhering to the format, it's important that you call it a motion, right? And you debate on a motion on two sides, proposition and opposition. Proposition is always favoring the statement or favoring the motion. So whatever be the motion, zoos should be banned. So the propositions will tell you why zoos should be banned. And the opposition will go ahead and tell you why zoos should not be banned. Amazing. Opposition is the one who goes ahead and negates the statement. These two sides have 3 people each, which means you have 6 people in total. And these 6 people are divided into 2 teams. You already know the teams. It's proposition and opposition. Amazing. In proposition, you have 3 people. In opposition, you have 3 people. What are these people called? It's called proposition speaker 1, proposition speaker 2, proposition speaker 3. On the contrary, we have opposition. The same thing that I've been saying for proposition will be applied here, which means that opposition also has 3 speakers. It's called opposition speaker 1, opposition speaker 2, opposition speaker 3. I hope I'm clear with this. Moving ahead and telling you how do they speak. So you always remember everybody has to debate with each other, which means that you will have proposition speaker 1 to be the first person to open the floor. This looks like they will be the first person to talk about what they think about the statement, right? So I'll take a motion. Animal testing should be banned. Amazing. So that's the motion. So proposition speaker 1 will tell you what is animal testing, what is banning, and why should you ban it. The second speaker in chronological order, I'm going to write the chronological order, right? So it's proposition speaker 1, then it's opposition speaker 1, then it's proposition speaker 2. I will keep writing it, keep looking at the chat box so you have a clear idea and you are with me when I go ahead and talk to you. Proposition speaker 2, opposition speaker 2, proposition speaker 3, proposition speaker 3. Okay, wait, 3, yes. Opposition speaker 3. Speaker 3. I will give a dramatic analogy for this so you guys are clear. Proposition speaker 1, opposition speaker 1, proposition speaker 2, opposition speaker 2. Then it's proposition speaker 3, then it's opposition speaker 3. So it's always going to be proposition first and then opposition. Note there are 6 people in the entire house. You need to give equal opportunity to every speaker to go ahead and speak and articulate their points, right? So everybody has to talk about why animal testing should be banned or should not be banned. If it's banning, it's all about what proposition is setting the debate to be all about. If it's opposition, opposition will discuss why animal testing should not be banned because it has multiple benefits, looks like scientific experiments. So you can go ahead and do almost all kinds of research to come up with that topic, right? I hope you're clear with the chronology. If you're very clear with the chronology is the order in which you will speak, right? So it's PS1, I will just do it. I hope you guys are very much aware about the games.
Kaushiki, it's fine.
Yes.
So what I want to make sure is that we move to the next slide and just give them a quick roundup on what exactly is this debate. So go next. So W is the debate itself. Just click next on the slide. It's 2 sides. We are just recapping what Kaushiki ma'am has said. You are going for or you're going against. Okay, that is called a side and that's called a stance. Rihanna, we are coming to the topic. Okay. You all have teams of 3. I did the attendance yesterday. For the rest of you, we will do it later. There are judges who are going to adjudicate you on the 3 M's again. What are the 3 M's? Manner, matter, and method. Okay. And the motions are different for every round. So go next, Kaushiki, on the slide. So I just want to make sure if there is anybody who's not able to understand this, just go next, Kaushiki, that's fine. It's the same speaker order. Okay, go next again. Okay. All of you, this is how you will be judged. What is the matter, right? You will all be given a topic. What was the actual argument presented by the speaker? Were there any examples with it? and how relevant were they to the topic. We are definitely going to check your body language and pose. We are going to check for your eye contact. And one of the tricks I can tell you clearly, if you have read your speeches well enough, then you are able to maintain eye contact. Otherwise, you are just rattling off from the page. So try to do that. Be clear on your voice. We should be able to hear every word that you're saying, right? And in terms of method, did you elaborate on a point? So Kaushiki ma'am, what you could do is that we can give them one small topic and ask them to write an argument, just one argument, right? So if you can just stop sharing, and I'm just doing this for one of you. Let's get you to put an argument on a motion. So Kaushiki ma'am, do you have a motion in mind? We could make a motion up, and you can also, all of you, please be ready to think.
Yes, ma'am.
And you
Ma'am,
all, yes.
can you send
Yes.
this PPT on the group?
We will. Of course we will. So Kaushiki ma'am, any one motion, a tiny motion for the youngsters, all of you, I just want to make sure all of you put one argument for it. I'm just going to see how good the argument is, because this is relevant for all the three speakers, right? You are going to be three teams of three. Yeah, all of you are teams of three. Okay, I'm just going to,
What about the whip?
the what? The whip?
Yeah,
The whip is the third speaker, right?
yeah, I
So
know that, but the whip doesn't have to make any arguments.
he normally summarizes, but right
Yeah,
now let's just practice on just making an argument, right? Okay, Kaushiki ma'am, we are ready whenever you are ready, and you give us a topic.
the topic be on the spot? Excuse me, ma'am.
She's going to, the Kaushiki will have to expand that whole motion. There are new debaters also. So, listen, look at the chat. It is 7:58. I'm going to give you 2 minutes to think till 8. Kaushiki ma'am has put a motion. She says, this house prefers cats over dogs. Can you all just think for 2 minutes and then put your arguments on the group? Just one argument. Okay? No, Vivan, this is what I'm saying. Think for 2 minutes, because it has to be a fleshed out argument. I don't want one argument to say dogs are loyal. Give me a proper fleshed out thought. Right?
Miss, can I ask you a question?
Yeah, Mariam.
Miss, will the topics be given on the spot? Then we
No,
will have
I'm going to give you the topics now. We're just going to release the topic anyway. Just hear and carefully. So we've given you the topic. All of you be on mute. I want absolute silence for the next 2 minutes. Shrishti, I'm going to repeat it. The topic that motion that Kaushiki ma'am is going to put for everyone. And
Miss, can we do research?
No, just 2 minutes. Just think about the point. No? This house prefers cats over dogs. This is the motion. Can you see? I've just put it with that black logo. I want you to think for 2 minutes and tell me for the motion. So Arav has already started. Just think for 2 minutes. Take your time.
Ma'am, do we have to do proposition and opposition on this?
You can do proposition or opposition. So think for and keep putting your arguments, okay? So Kaushiki ma'am, we'll pick up 2 or 3 to read.
Yes. I think I get some very interesting one. Cats catch mice for
Yeah,
you. I mean,
let's read it carefully, quietly, because they still have a minute to put their arguments, right? Okay.
Miss,
Yeah,
I should write against about the cat or the dog.
you can choose anytime. I'm allowing you to choose any most time, but I just want to see who's thinking through and writing an argument, because writing the argument is foundational to being a debater, right? We all naturally do it. But I just want to see what you're saying. What do you think? This house prefers cats over dogs. Okay, Kaushiki ma'am, do you want to just go over 3, 4 of them which you thought were very interesting?
yes, I mean, they keep coming. So yeah, cats are cute. Dogs sense danger.
Okay.
Oh yes, I get one.
Yeah.
Dogs are considered, this is a good one in terms of like fleshing it. So it's very explanatory. Dogs are considered more trustworthy. Okay, let's keep coming. Okay,
I'm
great.
gonna, yeah, go ahead. Otherwise, I just want to give
Yeah,
a
yeah.
good shout one.
Dogs are considered more trustworthy. As cats are more rogue than dogs prefer to go it alone, dogs also look to their owners for safety, security, and their needs are being met. Cats do not form these secure attachments. Dogs are more trainable, use their bathroom
Kathy, is this
outside.
Chat GPT.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to read out 2 or 3 of them. And I'm just taking so because all of you have done such a good job on a topic like pets. Avani says of grade 6, you don't need to let them out every day to run around or take them for a walk. They can use the bathroom, indoor, and a litter box. And you don't need to rely on anyone to take them out for a potty break. So she's giving you a reason and she's explaining you with an example also, right? So she says, I don't have to let them out. And she tells you how, as an example of what we need to let them out for. And I can't say it again and again, right? Okay. Now, Purvi 5B, 5E says, dogs are loyal and much more independent. Nice. She's made a statement. So the C framework says, argument state framework says, make a statement, give me an elaboration or explanation, and give me an evidence to it, right? So, yeah, okay, once again, Mayuk Nair says, cats are less dangerous because when the dogs bite us, we may get rabies, right? So you all have understood how to look at an argument. Obviously, this was less time given to you. You can otherwise flesh it out, right? So, yeah, go ahead.
Ma'am, I'm gonna send a message which is related to proposition, so you can just check it out.
Yeah.
I'm sending it to everyone.
Correct. Please do send it to everyone. But I have got the feel of saying you understand what an argument is. Because if you are going to understand what an argument is when you are going to be able to contribute as a team member to the team, right? So let's come back to saying what should be the important role that you play, right? So when I'm the first speaker, what am I doing? I'm have an opportunity and as a speaker. So tell me quickly. Just put your hands down, all of you. Okay, all of them. Now we can stop chatting on the group on the dogs and the cats. I want to come back to the debate itself, right? Put down, all of you, put down your hands. Trina, I'm waiting. Rihanna, I'm waiting for you all to put down your hands, please. So yesterday we did an attendance check. Is everybody comfortable with their teams? Give me your hand raise only if you haven't found your team member. Only then. So raise your hand if you don't know who your team member is, because the most important part about a debate is to work together. So raise your hands quickly. I just want to take a quick screenshot. So Purvi, Ayan, Palakshi, Shushti, Jin, 1 second, I'm talking. Shreya and Jivisha, except them, everybody else has found their team members?
Ma'am, will you say, excuse me, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
Excuse me, ma'am. I haven't found.
So then, if you haven't found, raise your hand. Just keep your hands up because I'm watching that. I just want to take a screenshot if you haven't found your team member, because that's the first thing we will do after this call. Okay, we will just make sure that you connect with your team members. Okay, so one, Daksh, no, Daksh, no, I can't do this. Just raise your hand if you haven't found a team member. If you don't raise your hand now, then I can't help you. Okay, iPhone, I can't make out who you are. So can you please rename yourself the iPhone? Otherwise, we will be struggling to figure out who that was. So, okay, are we ready? So can I take a screenshot? Yeah. Only people who've not found their team members, I'm taking a screenshot. And iPhone, you're not change your names. 1, 2, 3.
Miss someone saying that they have found a team of 4.
I'll come to that. I'll come to the exceptions. It's great, but I really need you to have 3 team members, okay? Otherwise, do you all know what the ugly number is?
Yeah, miss. I think it's like.
Yeah. Ugly is not able to sleep because it's trying to make sure that you are all well set for the debate.
8810465799.
Yes, thank you so much. I'm just putting the ugly number just to be able to put any doubts that you may have on only on the team logistics, because this is not my time to do logistics conversation. The point I was making is you all know each other as team members, except barring a few of us. I think we've got approximately 10 names up. We will help you find your team members. You can put your hand down. The first thing that you will do is you will figure out what your role is. Are you the first speaker? Are you the second speaker? Are you the third speaker? So when you figure out your teams, I just want you to make sure that you get comfortable on who's going to go what. Now, the question that people ask me, no more pinging on this, please. Okay, Adep, just put your hands on, all of you that who've not found your team members. I will come to you separately. I just want to make sure all of you between yourselves figure out, am I speaking first? Am I a person who's comfortable with rebutting, which is to say, if the opposing team says, so Kaushiki ma'am, you can show us the flow of the debate once. You can share that and I'll hand this session back to you. Am I a person who's going to be able to think of some arguments and rebut it? So should I be the person who's the...
Excuse me, miss. I can't see your screen. I can't see the slide.
Not this one, Kaushiki, the one that you were sharing above. The first slide that you were sharing was fine. Yes. So you have to decide first amongst all of you that are you going to be, going first, because there is some burden that the first speaker has. The first speaker's responsibility is to be able to explain the motion that my team defines zoos to be a place where only mammals are kept. We are not talking about any place where, fishes are kept. We are not talking. So if the question was about should zoos be banned, we are not talking about that. Okay. When I talk about animals, they are all mammals. They are all four-legged. They are not going to be birds. You have the opportunity to define every word in the motion. Okay. That's how motion definition happens with the first speaker. And the first speaker is going to introduce to say, my team is going to give you 4 arguments. Let me start with first 2. So Kaushiki ma'am, if you could just briefly go over the speaker role expectation that we have at just at a brief level, because they're very young. And then we can sort of come back to how the judges will measure them.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yeah, you want?
Ma'am, I'm Jivisha here.
Okay, Jivisha. No, okay. Don't use this one, Kaushiki. Yeah.
Ma'am, what is the OD number or something you were, telling us, right?
What is the which number, dear? Ogly number is there in the chat.
So what do we do with that?
We do nothing. We just tell them if we have any problem. Like I can't find a team member, we just tell them that. Otherwise, we don't tell them anything.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes.
Miss, I can't see your screen. So will you be sending the recording?
Sorry to interrupt. Ma'am,
Yeah,
sorry to interrupt. Can we do it like a little bit faster? Then we can answer the questions because we are having other class also at 8:45. I'm really very sorry.
Sorry,
But
I
can
have
we...
to handle it at a group pace the way it's been planned. You can see the recording later, Kaina.
Ma'am, actually, we are not able to hear the recording. Every time when we click the button for recording, so it will go to some reels or something like that.
Please wait for the recording to be sent end of the day. You will be able to.
Okay.
Okay. So, Prisha, Lynn, go ahead, please. You have a question. I know that you've not found your team members.
Excuse me, miss.
Yes, go ahead.
Miss, in the debate, do we have to introduce ourselves or just suddenly?
Yeah. Ma'am is just going to come to that. I'll just take these last 2 questions and then come to Kaushiki ma'am explaining us. Avantika, go ahead, please.
Miss, will POIs be applicable for this debate?
No, there are no points of information for everybody else who's new over here. Normally in debate, you also have the opportunity to ask a question in the middle of somebody's debate, but we are not doing that format. Okay, you all have an opportunity for speeches. Thank you.
Ma'am, I have a question.
Raisa, just 1 second, you have to raise your hands, please. Prisha, go ahead.
Ma'am, I have another class at 8:20. So when will this class get over?
8:30 is what has been planned. Amira, go ahead.
And I just wanted to ask, there will be 3 rounds, right?
Yes. That's
and
important.
The third round will be impromptu or promptu?
No, what we will do, Amira, that's a very good question. Kaushiki, can you just go to the schedule slide, the first slide? I'll just come and answer this. Raisa, go ahead. What's your question?
And I wanted to ask that which team would be opposing us?
I'll just tell you that. Vian, what's your question? Otherwise, please put your hands down. You don't have to ask a question. We'll just go through everything.
The question is that will the speakers have to rebut what the other people are speaking? So will the
Ideal.
second and third speakers have to, because the kids are quite young and this is their first time in entering a formal debate. So
Yeah.
can they stick to prepared speeches or will
Yes.
they have to take into consideration what the other team members are speaking?
It's a little bit of saying that the ideal format is to rebut, but we understand that they are young, so I'll encourage them to prepare the speeches, right? So the way you prepare the speeches is to anticipate the rebuttal, to say likely, so you can build it in your speech to say, I'm sure my opposing team is going to say these points, right? So you're likely to hit the opposing points then. Okay, so hold on to your thoughts. I just want to address what Amira asked because that's a very good question. All of the debate students will log in at 3 o'clock on 25th of June. Okay, you are going to have round 1 from 3:30 to 4:30. You are going to have round 2 from 5 o'clock to 6 o'clock. Your motion for both the rounds are the same. But what we will tell Amira is Amira speaking for the motion in the first round or is she speaking against it? If you're going to speak for the motion in the first round, then it's obvious that you will speak against the motion. So we will not change the topic, Amira. For the first 2 rounds, it's the same topic. You will just go both sides. So when I release the topics right now, you will just prepare both sides because both of them will be used. For the last round, I'm going to give you the topic today, but I will not tell you what side are you going to do. Okay, I'm going to tell you that.
You're saying that we will get the topic for all 3 rounds?
Yes, yes, yes. So for the first 2 rounds, the topic remains the same, only the side changes. And then I give you 1 hour of preparation. Can you see round 3 prep, which is 6:30 to 7:30?
Okay.
That's the time I will tell Amira that for the round 3 topic, are you speaking for the motion or against? Yeah?
Ma'am,
So we have to
can't see the slides actually.
One of you once at a time. Partha, go ahead.
We can't see the slides which are being shown.
Are you all not able to see the slides? Just reshare
No,
it.
all this while we haven't been able to see the slides, and Parth has been trying to tell you that, but I think he was not heard.
No, ma'am, I can see, ma'am. I can see the slides.
Same. So I don't know what is the problem because we could see the slides
Same.
you were showing.
That's all right.
But we can't
That's
see.
okay, Partha. It's all right. Okay, let's just keep moving forward. The slides will be circulated. It's visible to majority. Okay, so now
I was saying that
one at a time. Can we one at a time? Amira, go ahead.
I was saying that the prep time. So I'm getting confused that we have to prep in the time given.
No,
for the topic.
So Amira, just hold that thought. I just want to come to speaker roles quickly on what we expect, and then we come to this. Daksh, don't annotate this. Purva, go ahead. Kaushiki, just go to the speaker slide.
Actually, I have 2 questions. Ma'am, can we can we at the end of this training session, can you put all the team members into a breakup room so then we can get to know each other and discuss on the topic or the motion?
I'll just tell you how to do that. I'll just tell you. You're thinking
And
ahead.
And this, my second question.
Purva, just hold on. Let me finish the format and I'll come to that. Okay, Omar, just
sorry to interrupt, but have you shared the topic yet, or will you share it?
No, I haven't. I'm trying to share it. Okay,
Ma'am.
all of you mute. You're breaking the flow of the training. Allow me to finish the format. I will come to how, what topics, everything. Okay, Kaushiki ma'am, over to you. Just in terms of high level expectations, these are young children. On what you expect from speaker 1, what should speaker 2 do, what should speaker 3 do? Okay. Yes, Kaushiki ma'am.
Yes, so I want all of you to take out your notepads and note what are the speaker roles. So proposition speaker 1 will always go ahead and define what the motion is. So definition is up to them, trying to put forth what their team collectively has come up with. So let's say team collectively has thought about 3 arguments. So the first team can introduce those arguments, right? Opposition speaker 1 has to rebut proposition speaker 1 because obviously they've heard one speaker go before them, and that team which is going before them is definitely your opponent. So you have to rebut them. Second, opposition has to also present their arguments. Yeah.
So from a first speaker perspective, for all the parents and students who are hearing, on the same topic, zoos should be banned. The team proposition could say, I define zoos as places where mammals are kept, not as defined as places where fishes are kept. Okay, I'm not talking about aquarium. I'm talking about only zoos which are in the cities and not the national parks. Opposition team come back and say, I'm sure my opposing team is thinking about only the mammals, but the point is 70 or 16% of the fishes are also endangered. So they are by default challenging the very definition of the motion or the topic. So first speakers always define the motion as their team has understood it. Every word on the motion is open for you to define. Okay, so you can sort of say zoos should not be banned. When I mean banning, I don't mean it should never be available. I mean that it should be available only in the seasons that are comfortable to the animals. So every word of the topic is open for you to define. The first speaker always has the responsibility of defining the motion and then giving that my team is going to go over these two arguments. The opposing speaker one can always question the definition. So, and when you build the speeches, anticipate that. Anticipate what is going to be defined and challenge it, right? Okay, is everybody clear? Can you just put your doubts now on first speaker on the group while Kaushiki ma'am addresses? I will answer it. Okay, so once again, taking some questions. 1 second. Adib is asking, just put it on the chat. No ma'am in the middle, just put in the chat. Does the opposition team also have to define the words? Yes, they can redefine it. They can challenge the definition. Ayansh, proposition speaker one means, proposition means for. Always the for team starts the debate, okay? And opposition means against, okay? Opposition is opposing. Can the speaker order change when they're speaking for the motion and when they're speaking against? Speaker order actually means that the 3 children in a team, I will speak 1, I will speak 2, I will speak 3. So ideally, you shouldn't be changing a speaker order in the middle of the debate, right? Otherwise, you will not be prepared for it. So keep the speaker order consistent. Timing of the training remains the same at 7 people. How do we know which team we are opposing? We will tell you how we release it. Don't worry about this.
7:30 only.
7 o'clock. No, okay, 7 o'clock. We'll do 7 o'clock. We'll do training, a mock tomorrow. Okay, Kaushiki ma'am, tell us. Once again, all of you pause. Kaushiki ma'am, if I was the second speaker, what would be my responsibilities?
Yes, if you're a second speaker, you have to always rebut the opponent that has gone before you. But secondarily, you have to extend on whatever your first speaker has already said. So it's important for you to listen carefully to your first speaker and make sure that you support them all this while. So this looks like that the first speaker has said why zoos should be banned, or they have accurately pointed out what is zoos. So you have to go ahead and provide benefits of why banning is important, right? So you have to extend on whatever your first speaker has already said. Similarly, for opposition speakers, you always have to make sure that you engage with other speakers. Engagement is basically making sure that you listen to them, and second, you go ahead and rebut them. It's important, but you also have to support your first speakers.
Correct. So if I was a second speaker in my group, I will say, so assume Kaushiki ma'am and I are a team and RV is a team member of mine, okay? So I will say Kaushiki ma'am was the first speaker. I'll say, agreeing with Kaushiki, who has told us the 2 arguments, I want to tell you 2 more arguments on this one, but I heard my other side. So you have to anticipate when you write your speeches, you can put these dialogues in to say, I'm sure the opposing team will think that the zones should not be banned, because the fact is they are going to make money after all the ticketing costs. So you can sort of anticipate it, right? So all the parents and the children who are hearing in, when you do your research, anticipate that they are going to say something like that, rebut the points proactively, right? If you are a person who's been debating and you are able to think and quote, say, like we heard Advik make this point, I disagree with him, but we shall do this very respectfully, right? Ethics are very important. We have an ethics officer, we have an equity officer who watches the debate. We do not encourage aggressive language. We encourage respectful language. So even if I have to say, I don't know what Advik was talking about, I will say it respectfully without being mean to him. Okay, so Advik in my opposing team was not making any sense because his points are not matching. So you can say something very respectfully. If Advik is my opposition, Advik, is that okay? Can I speak to you like that? Yeah. Thank you, Advik. So the second speaker is then talking about 2 more incremental points than the first speaker, but supporting them. So Kaushiki ma'am, what does the third speaker do?
The third speaker also supports the first and the second speaker, but how do they support it? They summarize everything. So it's important that they do not bring anything which is absolutely new, but obviously they can extend. But the main duty of the third speakers is to go ahead and summarize everything that has been said by the entire team so far. And the third speakers have to give a biased judgment of why their team is winning. So it's important for them to be proactive. They have to betterly track the debate. But thirdly, they have to summarize everything that has been given. And obviously, they have to rebut all of the speeches which are given by their opponent. Similarly, for opposition speakers, they're also called whips, but we'll address them as the third speakers, because obviously they summarize everything, they rebut everything, and they weigh everything out. Why are we better than the other team? And obviously do this with respect, but you have to go ahead and make sure that they summarize everything that has been said so far and tell me why they win.
So what is very important is that when you're working as a team, you get together. So this is the question that I think a girl was asking, is to say, can you make a breakout room for me? Here is what I will encourage. I will encourage you all to make your little WhatsApp group between the team. I will encourage you to work on a Google Doc together and sort of say, listen, on this topic, I'm going to write my speech, but these are the two arguments I'm thinking, first speaker. These are the two arguments you are thinking, the second speaker. The third speaker should at least have visibility. Otherwise, what will happen is the third speaker completely makes two new different points and has no connection with what his team has said. It's better to sort of say, like I heard my team member Kaushiki ma'am, and like I heard my team member Khyati, I would like to now summarize the debate and please tell you that why we win. No, Avni, we don't have teams of 4. So you have to please ping Ogly. How are you getting a team of 4? Okay, with that, I hope the speaker roles are clear. I'm going to make sure that the deck has one more slide which explains it. You can read it at your own self and ask me for any doubts tomorrow. Right? If there are any doubts, I just want you to make sure that you use the chat box. Yes. So just put your doubts on the chat and Kaushiki ma'am, you can come to the topics. Yes. So Dina is asking us a good question. Can any speaker of the team support each other if one of them is getting stuck while telling something? Ideally, you have your own 3 minutes as the first speaker, second speaker, third speaker. So if it's not your chance, then you can't start speaking for them. Right, Divya? So like, for example, Kaushiki ma'am is speaker 1, I'm speaker 2, and you are speaker 3. I'm not going to suddenly become speaker 3 because I'm not prepared for it. So if they're getting stuck, we will give them 30 seconds to have a glass of water and then start again. Not a problem. Right? Okay. I hope this is clear. All of you are doing a great job on using
Miss, there's no impromptu.
No, there is no impromptu. But please use the chat box. It's working very well. Tishan, I know you have a lot of doubts. Please put it on the chat. It's easier. I need you to understand the motions. Motion means topics.
Ma'am, are these the motions for the debate?
Yes, I'm speaking. Use the chat, all of you. So round 1 and round 2, it's the same topic. We have kept the same topic so that it's easier for you. And we are telling you today so that you have time to prepare. Today is a Thursday. We have good 2 days. This house prefers a world where experiential learning is given more importance than academic achievements. Can all of you use the chat and tell me what you understand by experiential learning? Just take it a go. Let's see. Well, actually, I'll come to that opposition speaker. You're group 9. I mean, are you okay? Team 9. Okay. What is experiential learning? What does experience mean? When we experience something, yes, Nityanshi is saying through experience, knowledge acquired through experience. So, for example, academic achievements are something that we do with the subjects we study in school. Experiential learning could be the fact that my mother has taught me to fold my clothes and keep my cupboard clean. Right? So this house prefers a world. I prefer a world where children know more by experiences than only knowing maths and science and Spanish and English and poetry. Right? Kalyani, go ahead. You have a doubt on the motion?
Is this the motion that will be given in the...
Yes, this is the motion for 25th. That's why I'm keen that you understand it. It is the motion that you will debate on 25th of June for the first 2 rounds. Yeah. Okay.
Ma'am, I
Yes. Okay. So all of you are giving me some ideas on experiential. We will have a don't repost your chat. It gets distracting there, right? Kathy, you don't want to do that, right? I'm sure. So Yuvan says experiential learning is learning through example. Instead of learning about an experience, you see the example in motion, or you see the motion through experiment. Okay. So I could say bicycle. Yes, absolutely. Ayansh is saying falling down by a bicycle, trying not to fall down again is experience. Yes, because it's an experience of transporting ourselves from one place to another. Wouldn't it be nicer? I mean, how would the world look if we did not encourage experiential learning? Is the debate topic. So now let's assume I am Vian Garg from grade 5. In round 1, Vian will be told that you are going to speak for the motion. And if you're going to speak for the motion in the first round, automatically for round 2, the motion will, the side will reverse. Okay. So Umair, are you clear about this? If you're going to speak for the motion in round 1, you are going to speak against the motion in round 2. What's the doubt that you have, Umair? Or your hand is just up? Yeah. Experiential learning is anything that is learned out of experiences. Cooking. It could be, like I said, folding your clothes. It could be looking after elders in the house. It could be about art. It could be sports. Right? Anything that we are learning which is over and above the books is experiential learning. Okay. Anything that I'm learning by doing. When I do something, I experience something. Right? So I prefer a world where experiential learning is given more importance over academic achievements. Academic achievements is, did you score 90%? Did you score 100%? Did you get an A on your test? Did you get a C on your test? What should be required as more experiential learning, right? And Kaushiki ma'am, are you also explaining it once for the students?
Yes. So I think everything that Anjali ma'am said is like pretty much with examples and a lot of other things. But always remember, experiential learning is practical knowledge. So you've done something like you've fixed a car's tire. So that's experience. As opposed to an academic achievement, which looks like that you study so much, that you score 100%. Everything that Anjali ma'am has said in terms of excelling in academics, excelling in a particular subject that you
imagine,
love. Like,
let me tell you, Wright brothers, the ones who made aeroplanes, did not go to school. They made an aeroplane, it failed. They made it again, it failed. They made it many times and finally their aeroplane flew. So they were experientially learning something versus somebody telling them in a textbook how aeroplanes should fly, because till then nobody knew how it flies, right? Kaushiki ma'am, so with that, if everybody is clear on the topic, then we can go to the third one. Yeah, Umair, go ahead quickly. Just keep your hands up, guys. Sorry, students.
Miss, I wanted to ask, if a team member is speaking, suppose opposition is speaking, then can the proposition team discuss what their next speaker is going to say?
Yeah, but you know what happens is it happens behind the scenes. So when I have to talk to my team, like I'm talking to my team while talking to the training, then I'm doing it quickly on my Word document or on WhatsApp. So when we are hearing the topic for my opposing team, I know that he's going to speak for 4 minutes. I'm hearing and I'm saying, oh, this is the topic that we've decided to rebut. So on the document, you can make it into bold to say, don't miss this point, right? So yes, you can discuss it, but you can't discuss it where it will disrupt the opposing member of the team. Is that okay?
Ma'am, can you share the schedule?
We can.
Yeah, Tishan, go ahead.
Can you share the schedule or the timings again?
I will. But I just want to finish the doubts on the round 3 because that's far more important. Okay. Vivhan, grade 1. Quickly, don't raise your hand if you don't have a doubt. Arush, 5A debate. Go ahead.
Miss, I am Vihan. So, is there any reply speaker?
No, there's no reply speaker. We are not doing that format this time. Okay, we've kept it very, very simple. Just 3 speakers, 3-minute speeches each, which means that each team will speak for 9 minutes. And similarly, you will do 3 rounds. First round maybe for the motion, automatically against the motion. If you got against the motion, then next round you do for the motion. Okay. So first 2 rounds are exactly on the same topic. Now we have Vidya. Just put it on the chat, please. All your questions on the chat, please.
Ma'am,
Divya,
this side. So like, is the debate format going to be like formally like the delegate of blah 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 would like that, or is it different?
delegate is normally in Model United Nations. This is just, I'm the Prime Minister or I'm the Speaker one. Because this is a younger group, we've kept it to Speaker one. Otherwise, it's Prime Minister, Leader of Opposition. Okay.
So no, you moderated caucuses and stuff.
Yeah, we'll talk it as Speaker one. I just want you to all put your questions on the chat because the hands are rising. I just want to make sure I don't miss anything. When you put it on the chat, it's easier for me. So Divya asks a very good question. She says, how will we know whether we are speaking for and against the round? Normally, when you will come at 3 o'clock, we will tell you whether you're speaking for and against, which means that you must be prepared for both the sounds. Okay, at 3:15, I will tell you whether you're speaking for or against. You will be given 15 minutes and you will start your speech at 3:30. Right? Okay. Now, ma'am, will you have any time between debates for rebuttals? No, you are just going speech by speech.
Wait.
Unmute. Mute yourself. You just have maybe from one speaker to another, maybe 15 seconds of transition, right? Because the judge will say, okay, speaker number one from team proposition start, here. Now I invite speaker number one from team opposition. So the transition's only 15 seconds to 30 seconds. If you feel uncomfortable starting, you can say, so give me a second, I'm starting. But just keep it to 15 seconds gap. Will we have the same opponents for round 1 and 2? Not at all. You should play with everyone. So no, you will not have this one. I'm coming to you, Lynn, on the team. Your team members have also been looking for you. Okay. Yes, it's team members can sit in the same place or you can sit in different cities. We've had team members who are comprising of students from Pune, Bangalore and Jaipur. So all topics work. Now coming to the last topic, which is important for you before I take questions. 1 second, please put it on the chat. Okay. This house will make annual exams optional for students. Is that a nice topic? Do you guys understand what is annual?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So the topic is very interesting because it says maybe we shouldn't have exams. If I was you, I can define it. I mean to say annual exams can be made optional, but I mean to say that semester exam, which is every 3 months, is not optional. So you can define the motion and you can define students also. You can say students can be from school, students can be from college, students can be from primary. Every word in the motion you can define. So coming to the question, Kaushiki ma'am, if you can just come back to the schedule and I'll just tell them how to think about it. Is that Shrishti, I've replied to it 3-4 times. You will get to know only on 25th for whether you're proposition or opposition at 3 o'clock. Okay, 3:15 you will get to know because that's when we will release the motions. So Shivansh, be on mute. So round 1 and round 2. 1 second. Round 1 and round 2, is everybody clear? It's the same motion, same topic. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Okay. Then you can.
Can the students speak in different order in the different rounds?
Yeah, you can. The teams have to be.
The topic.
Sarah, I can't hear you, dear. Can you put it on the chat? Yeah, just put your questions on the chat. All of them will get replied. So after round 1, we do round 2. If I spoke for the motion, I'll go against the motion next one. Then I will give you a 1-hour break. But before I send you on the break, on the last topic, I will tell you which side you are. Okay. And what was the last topic? The last topic was this house will make the annual exams optional. Correct? But you are preparing for both the sides now. Because we decided not to give you an impromptu motion because you are the youngest on the lot and you are my most favorite category. Okay. So which means that you don't know which side you're going to speak, but you have prepared for both sides. At 6 o'clock, when you're finished with the debate, we will tell you what side have you got, and then you will please prepare for 1 hour for that. Can you all do that, please?
Well, it's practically impromptu if you think about it. That's practically impromptu.
Slightly better than impromptu because then you are able to sort of at least.
Yeah, do we have to prepare our own speech?
Yes, you should. You should.
So, ma'am, can you tell us the topics?
Yes. Can you please show the topics again, Kaushiki ma'am?
Ma'am, in the scoring of the previous qualifier, there was something given as AWM in the team scoring. What is AWM?
I can't place it immediately. I'll just check. But is everybody clear on the topics? Is everybody clear on the topics? Yes, Avni, you will get the
Yes,
presentation.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Is this the topics?
Yes.
Yes,
That's
ma'am.
awesome.
Ma'am.
Yes, this is the topic. Kaushiki ma'am, can you please tell us how the judges will judge them? Can you please come to that slide? Because that's the most important cheat sheet that you need. Okay. Okay. Not before this one. Yeah. Manner matter. Again, your criteria remains the same. And you heard this on Turncoat as well. Matter, which is the content, manner, which is the presentation, method. Okay. 10, 10, 10 marks. I think it's more than 10. But what are the actual arguments? What are the examples? How relevant they are? Right? Manner is how good was your body language and poise? Did you maintain eye contact? Were you just looking somewhere else? Did you use your voice adequately? Could we even hear you? Now, structure is very important. Structure is the point I was saying, that the first speaker can say, here is what I'm going to do. I'm the first speaker of this team. I'm going to define the motion. I'm going to give you 2 arguments which will be extended by my team. So my argument number, so if you structure your thoughts, it's easier for somebody to understand it, right? It's like literally the McKinsey model to say, I'm going to tell you 2 things and here are the 2 things, you tell them, right? But when you tell them point number 1, do you elaborate it? Elaborate it well, put a nice example. If you're going to tell me a source, what will you do? You are going to tell me the source. You're not going to say 73% of the fishes are marked in extinct. You will say, as per the National Geographic survey that was released in 2023. It is so important to quote the source. Otherwise, you can say anything and I will not believe you. So credibility of the source is important. Good statistics are good examples to put, right? So think about these things. Then when you're coming as speaker number 2, you can say, like you heard my speaker number 1, Kaushiki ma'am, say, I would like to continue to support her points and let me give you 2 more arguments on why I support you. As the third speaker, you're going to say, you heard my team members and we completely don't believe what the opposition said. Let me summarize the points that my first 2 speakers have said and give you one final argument. Is that clear, all of you?
Yes, ma'am.
So we have to speak for both of them.
Both of who, dear?
Like the third speaker will have to speak.
I mean, in a way, you are sort of quoting them, or you're saying that I am a part of that team, and here is the reason why we should win. Right? You were the
for
first.
Tomorrow, and this for tomorrow, we have to prepare for opposition and preposition, right?
For tomorrow, it's a mock debate. So we will just ask 2 or 3 children to show you a debate, right? Because it's nice to sort of hear. If some of you want to volunteer for debate tomorrow, I'm happy to hear that also. You can put it on the group to say, I want to volunteer. Then we can make a team out of this. But I would like you to hear an experienced debater.
Yes. Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes, Sarah, what are you saying? What is this?
Miss, what is the topic?
It will be sent to you. Ma'am will send the topics to you. Shrishti, just put it on the group.
Miss, if we don't have any questions, can we leave?
Yes.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yeah, go ahead.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes, please go ahead. Stop sharing.
Can we perform the debate while looking at our script?
I mean, you can use an aid. You basically don't, Kaushik, you stop sharing. I just want to have a chat with them now. Okay, so I'm saying, you know what I would do? I would prepare my speech. I would actually practice it in front of a mirror so that I'm comfortable what I'm speaking. Right? That's what I would do. So all of you, please be on mute. I'm just going to stop recording because majority of the questions have been answered and you can stay here.
Like while looking at a paper,